All right, so I just had to redo the intro to the video that you're about to watch, and this is me redoing it pretty much. So, welcome to the video or the read for the first quarter full moon. Let me get the ring. Yeah, first quarter moon for Scorpio. And this is the collective read for that. So, I want to do more of these. I know I said what I said during the live, but I think I've figured out a certain groove for this channel to switch things up just a bit. So this is going to be one of actually two general reads you're going to get this weekend, and then the others will just be, or collective general reads, and put it that way, one of two. The other ones are going to be for these signs, three signs that I am going to read for. And yeah, also there's might be, I know this is the first video you see from me taking a week off or so. But life is busy right now. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling starting actually this month in August. And then again in October. Who knows, there might be even a move happening. So with that being said, this is me just saying, there's a lot going on right now, so I don't have necessarily the time to sit and record these vids. This is not the only, YouTube channel that's going to take a content hit from me, at least, that I do, based off of, what's going on in my life right now and all these other changes happening and things happening in general. But I just want to let you all know what's going on. So if you're wondering, because I know I am not active on the community tab, because I am not, I'm old, you know what I'm saying? So I still think YouTube is videos. Like I constantly forget you can actually post text statuses on here, and they're called community tabs. But anyways, or the community section. Anyways, this is the Scorpio the quarter moon in Scorpio general read. Hopefully you got anything of value from this. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, enjoy. I stated we already 4 minutes in. Yeah, we can chill out now. We can shuffle. This is a collective read, collective read, or one of the few that I owe y'all, and yeah, we'll see what messages, honestly, that the universe has for us. It's going to be a long one anyways, because what I plan on doing at first, we're going to start with, a love reading, right? We're going to start with love, a collective love reading. Then we'll go into career, possible, a career meeting. Then the last one will be any general messages that the universe has, the universe has for us, okay? Let's see if I could get 6 cards with all these, okay? So we start off, and I'll show y'all the cards, but we start with the 3 of Cups. Second card is the Moon. You ended up getting 7 cards, but it is what it is, all right? So I'm gonna show y'all. Anyone glad I'm back? Anyways, we start off, as I stated, the 3 of Cups. This is collaboration coming together, which, I think that from what I'm seeing here, as far as how it relates to love, I know there's 3 people here. Maybe this is for someone in a, I guess a non-traditional relationship, if it applies to you. It could be a situation to where I am seeing a lot of group work, though. Like, I don't think this is like your typical, and this is why I really need a love deck. I'll get some in the future, but I don't really see a typical, well, I don't need it. I would say I would want it, but I don't really see like as I was stating, your traditional, I won't say typical, even though it might be the same thing, but your traditional, 2-person monogamous relationship here. But I also don't see in this situation working out as, or at least everyone in this situation here being a team player. Is how I'm gonna put it, right? Um, I'll get to why I said that. You know, your Nets card is the moon. So this is pretty much the unknown. The moon energy has been pretty much really, really present during this retrograde, but also just I would say even before it. Then I feel like a lot of the reads I was doing, whether it be collective read, um, or all signs reading, or reads for specific signs, um, the moon was showing up for a lot of folk, you know, and yeah, so I think that we are in a position right now, whether you are trying to force yourself to, like, yeah, of course there are going to be things that is going to happen or are happening within your life, but this is a lot of just being able to accept what you don't know, accept what, like, you don't know is going to happen. um Honestly, when I still believe it's a love reading, but what I'm saying is, or seeing here now, the downloads I'm getting, this has nothing to do with like a personal relationship. This has to do with group work. I think, again, with that Three of Cups here, and yes, it's still present. Now, if you feel like this reading has to do with, a polyamorous relationship, or whatever the term is, right? And I don't say that to be rude. I say that because I'm a I'm a normie, as the people say, right? So I don't know shit other than normie shit. All right. Anyways, though, like, what I'm seeing here is it's group effort or group collaboration happening, but I don't see everyone, and I'm putting you in that everyone. We're gonna get to it, but I don't see everyone having the same motive as the collective. And when I say the collective, I mean specifically this group dynamic going on here. The moon symbol is symbolic of you not knowing who this individual is, or the other members not knowing that it's you, if you are said individual here. Now, I'm inclined, collective, because you're the one here, to say that this is relative to your energy, obviously to you. If it applies, it applies. If it doesn't, it doesn't, of course. Take whatever resonates and leave the rest. But just with those first two cards, and again, your sixth card, I know I'm skipping ahead because you got three more cards that come before this card that I'm looking at right here. I see the story, right, or the situation of a group of people coming together to work on something, and it's great. Everything's going well. That's what the Three of Cups symbolizes, right? That moon, yeah, we don't know. Where, like, there are people in this group unaware of who has ulterior motives, unaware of who maybe is unhappy with how things are going, and then will try to sabotage the group, or just unaware, again, really, of ulterior motives, right? There are going to be a lot of surprises here. You got the Page of Cups here, another Cups card. This is a card of surprises, so there is going to be good and not so good, or yeah, I'm going to put it that way, actually, good and not so good surprises happening. I think you all are going to, I don't think this situation is going to break up the group. Let me just put it that way. I think the reason why the Three of Cups is the first card here, is, like, I truly believe that this group situation is still going to continue on. I mean, it's going to be ebb and flow of things, but the group dynamic is still going to continue on. Either you're going to be surprised at just the turmoil you dealt with, or others in the group are going to be surprised at the fact that things are still going to continue. You might be surprised at what you all continue to succeed in doing. Maybe you end up growing more sans this individual who, let's just say, they're unhappy as to why they have ulterior motives, right? And you still continue to be successful and move on. And again, you might be surprised. You might surprise yourself about that, right? And again, there's gonna be some crazy surprises, both in the good and not so good sense. Yeah, the next card, again, another Cups card, Queen of Cups, compassionate, someone who is intuitive as well. So ultimately, I feel like when it comes to this, and I'm gonna say it's you, collective, right? Like all these cards, up until the card I'll get to when I get to it, right? But I'm gonna say it's you, because I feel like this is your intuition. This is you using your intuition. Someone who's intuitive. Intuition is not something that, people, that it just happens like that. It can, but it's not a situation to where you just instantly know something is up or someone is up. It happens via whatever, like it's sometimes it's a gradual thing, meaning that it really just depends on what happened next, and then you're able to piece things together that others may not be able, others don't have the power to piece together, maybe because they're not using their intuition, maybe because they're being blinded by something else. But that's a way, let me just say, intuition comes to play. And I feel like once you start to realize this individual doesn't have, or not everybody in this group dynamic is happy, before you even, I guess, maybe announce it, or before it comes clear to the rest of the group, you are going to actually realize this beforehand, seen as the Queen of Cups. Like, you're like, this is someone, if in this situation I'm describing, you're actually, this is the Queen of Cups will be the individual who knows, yeah, something is off here before whatever has been revealed. So don't take the Moon card as nothing is ever going to be revealed. It's just right now, it just seems that, the group is unaware of not everybody's motives, okay? The next card is the Empress in reverse. This is insecurity. This is someone who is too dependent on people as well. And this could be an energy that you may fall prey to, you might fall into. Ultimately, if that is something that you fall into, the energy that is here, again, from what I'm seeing, what your very last card shows that you snap out of that. I won't say quickly snap out of that, but you pretty much snap out of that insecure state, that state of, what am I going to do? Like, too dependent on other people to make decisions for you, So I'm not really too worried about the Empress in reverse in this read here, based off of, again, your very last card. But before we get there, hit that like. But after you do that, continue watching. And you got the Five of Swords. So this is the card that's honestly been bugging me the entire read thus far. All right, this is the card that I said is the card that either this is you doing anything at all costs to just get out of this group dynamic because maybe you're not feeling it, or it's a group member. Nonetheless, I don't think, like I said, everybody that you're working with at this moment in time is happy. I don't think everyone has motives, shares the same goals and has the same motives. So be very mindful of that. Again, that Queen of Cups is saying, hey, use your intuition to be very mindful of, everybody's energy, not just yours, not just even words, I'm going to say, because it could be someone that can talk the sweetest, someone who can say all the nice things and say all the perfect group member thing, but that's not really how they feel. And I don't think you or anybody else should try to force them to feel however they want to feel. If they're not feeling the group, they're not feeling the group. I would rather see you, whoever is watching this, right? I would rather see you work with the people who are on the same wavelength as you than to try to force someone to get on y'all's wavelength. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even trip about it. And again, your last card, as I was stating, why I wasn't worried really is you got the strength card. This is why the strength card is why I said the strength card and the 3 of Cups showing up in general is why I said that even after this individual, I don't think that you all are gonna things are gonna be all right for y'all. That's number one. Number two, you're not if the Empress in reverse is you're not gonna be in this state for forever. Let me put it that way. I won't say a very long time. I won't say quickly, but forever. You're not going to be in this state of being too dependent and being insecure, because this is the exact antithesis of someone who is insecure, someone who is too dependent on other people. You know what I'm saying? This is someone who takes charge. Let me put that more. I know that glare. So, boom. Yeah, that's what I have as far as love. And this could be just for your love reading. This is not, I don't think this is love in a romantic sense. Again, if it applies to you. But I think this is more so love of whatever you and these other individuals. It doesn't have to be 3. It could be more, right? But you and these other individuals are coming together to do, and you're not going to allow this individual here to ruin it all. So, yeah, that was what we have for the love mess. Oh, oracles. You know what I'm saying? I don't stop doing reads for a week or so, and I forget what the hell I'm supposed to do. But anyways, let's get into an oracle message or oracle messages. Okay. All right. So the oracle message we got today is go your own way. Interesting. Trust your intuition and embrace individuality, paving your path with courage and authenticity. That's the strength card. So I wonder if it's you. That 5 of Swords represents you. Now, the 5 of Swords, yeah, it's a very intense card. All right, before I get into the career read and stuff for us, let me just get this out the way. The 5 of Swords is definitely a very intense card. It's someone who can be viewed as a bully in a sense, very aggressive, someone who can do something like cheat to win, but ultimately that is not the entire meaning of the 5 of Swords. It's not always someone who's willing to do something dirty to get what they want. It could be a sense of doing something dirty in a sense of not giving a fuck about how other people feel. You're doing what you feel is right. You making a decision how you feel is right. Like me making the decision to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna do collective reads, and if you want an individual Virgo reads are gonna stay on this channel, but everybody else, since y'all don't watch the videos, I'm just decided to do collective reads and Virgo reads, right? And if you want a individual read for your sign, you just gonna have to hit me up or just wait till I get in the mood to actually do a read for your sign, right? That can be seen as cold to some folk. Some people like it's harmless. Some people it's like it's your channel, you do what you want with it. Those are the folks I fuck with. But some folks are gonna be like, that's cold, that's mean, that's wrong, that's whatever. You can feel however you want to feel about it, right? But that is can also be viewed, what I just did, the example I just gave, can be viewed as somewhat of a Five of Swords energy, where it's like you're doing anything that you feel is, you're only caring about your feelings, and you did something that you feel like you can benefit from rather than how others can benefit from. And again, you only care about your feelings, meaning you disregarded other people's feelings. Yeah. So it's like maybe that's a situation that happens here. Again, that Five of Swords could be you. Be honest with yourself. You ain't got to tell me in the comments. But you do have to be honest with yourself, and like I said, be honest with yourself and God. That's the only two entities you really got to be honest with, if you ask me. But that was the love reading for the collective. We are about to get into career. Now, let's see what is happening, what messages does the universe have for us in regards to career. Ooh, hopefully it's not as rocky as that as that shuffle. All right. If you're getting anything of value from this video, once again, please hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate the new subscribers. And again, I'm doing this, making these changes. Hopefully you stick around. If you don't, and then that's fine. You do whatever you feel you need to do. I'm trying to give a good, okay, now we got 6 cards, all right? Nice 6 card spread. Boom. So we start off with the Queen of Swords in reverse. This is someone who is very much spiteful, but someone who can also be easily influenced. I can tell you right now, on the career side, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good, collective. Oh. But it's not. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's not really looking too good. Now, it could be because, you could blame the retrograde like many of us do when things don't go our way. It could be because even prior to the retrograde, the economy, and I'm speaking as an American in America, right? The economy has been total shit, to be honest with you. And I've heard people from outside the U.S. said, hey, shit over here too. So it's like, it could be that. Not just the economy, but the job market. That's what I really wanted to say. The job market here is total trite. You know what I'm saying? But it could be the case for whoever, right? Whoever this message is for. If it doesn't apply, please do not force this message or anything that I say, or anything a tarot reader says. Don't try to force it to your life if it doesn't apply. That's just dumb. All right? But that could be the reason as to why things may not be working out as far as career goes. Now, there is always light, within even the darkest of reads here. We'll get to the light soon, but we have the Tower in reverse. So maybe one of the reasons as to why why things aren't going so well is because there's something we need to let go. It's probably a mindset that we need to let go. I think it's based off of what I'm seeing here. It could be a mindset of jealousy, as the Queen of Swords in reverse is. So there's this jealous mindset of this dog eat dog mindset that somebody in the collective has. There's this only one person can win, and if it ain't me, then no one else deserves to win type of spiteful mindset that someone in the collective has. And you're putting that negative energy out there, and then now you're wondering why shit ain't working out for you the way that you want it to. I don't think it's just that. I like I said, I think it's a culmination of the retrograde. It's also just the job markets not being as plentiful as the current regime, or wherever your regime might be, wherever you are, might be putting on it to be. But again, as I said, there is some light here. We have the Strength card showing up once again. Now, no other card from the love reading I just did to y'all, I did for y'all, or us, the collective, showed up. And this is the only one that showed up. So having the strength to continue to go forward, having the confidence within yourself to continue to go forward. This is how we get out of this rut, you know? Next, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is, I don't, I won't say I don't like to see cards in reverse, because I told y'all my favorite card in the entire deck, the Hierophant. I don't mind seeing it in reverse or upright. But this is, if I had to choose one card I really don't like to see in reverse, is the Queen of Wands. Number one, it's one of my favorite cards as well. When it's upright, though, only. When it's reverse, this is also the same energy as the Queen of Swords, someone who is insecure. It's Queen of Swords in reverse, someone who's insecure, someone who's jealous. This is also the card of someone who can be very much, the Queen of Swords is spiteful. This is someone who can be very temperamental. So teetering toward being very spiteful. And again, part of why I feel as though the way that why this energy is showing up is because old way thinking, retrograde, trash job market. We can't control those other things, but we can control this. You can't control how you show up. You can't control your thoughts. So it's like, yeah, you may have reacted or enacted or behaved a certain way during your last job or your current job. You're looking for something new, but you can't really find something new, right? But what I'm seeing here is clearly that's not going to work anymore. Ultimately, though, I think the center of, which isn't really, I guess, the center, but I think with the ultimately, again, we have the strength cards. The only upright card, I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. It's the only upright card that showed up here. But also, what I believe is we just need to have a lot more, and I know it's going to sound cliche to folks, but a lot more faith in ourselves to be able to go through any time, tough times, great times, whatever the case is, tough job markets or not. A lot of the old way of thinking that needs to fall, you just need to let go of. A lot of that old way of thinking is coming from maybe a lack of security that you have for yourself. And again, we have two cards already, both Queen's cards, but we got two cards already that's in reverse that is very much symbolic of jealous energy. It's hateful, spiteful energy. And honestly, yo, I know we all had our moments. There's some, I think I said this in a reading, probably one of the more recent reads, but I know I've said this in a reading before. There are times where we are haters, and there are people who just naturally are haters. Unfortunately, let me just put it that way, because I don't think it's natural to be a hater. But unfortunately, just are haters. That's what they do on a daily. Then there are people who, you're not a hater, but you have moments of being a hater. It happens to us. It's part of having this human existence. But guess what? Whether you are unnaturally but genuinely a hater, or someone that just has moments of being a hater, it's not serving you at all. Not now. It's not going to serve you in your life. You may have thought, especially to the haters every day type of haters, you may have thought it was serving you. But to me, what I'm seeing here is all of this is pretty much saying that it's catching up to you, and all of that negative energy you spent throughout the years being a hater, due to your insecurities, due to whatever old mindsets you may have, all that time you spent being a hater is now coming back to bite you. I don't think it's in a way that you like to be bit, you freak. Anyways, we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. This is someone who is distracted as well. This could be, again, someone of the collective. Part of your frustration, or this frustration here, is due to you being too much in your mind. It's good to have things you want to work toward manifesting and wishful thoughts and all this other stuff, right? It's good to be in this energy. at times. But when you're too much into this energy, this is what happens. You're too much into this, your mind of what you want your life to be. You're not taking the action to do that. It could also be not even just with like material gain you want in your life, but just the type of individual you want. You say, I want to be this type of individual, but then you spend all of your time being a fucking hater. You want to be the type of person that isn't a hater. You don't want to be surrounded by haters, but it's the energy you're. And I keep saying that because that's the energy we have here. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's the energy you're putting off. It's the energy that you may be surrounding yourself with. That tower could be that tower, not that tower in reverse. Not upright, but in reverse, could be very much symbolic of you needed to get away from this hating ass energy. Now I'm getting the downloads of like two. So the first message I was saying, you're the hater, but it could be you're surrounded by people who have this energy, and the strength card, yes, is still in both scenarios is very much you, but in this second scenario, it's you finding the strength and courage to say, I'm getting away from these folks. I'm getting away from this energy. Maybe it's a situation where you're sticking with this hating ass energy because it's a safety net. But again, that strength card is here to remind you that it might be a safety net. It might be something that you're used to now. But have the courage to go forward and say, fuck them folks. That's if you don't want to be surrounded by this hating energy. The last card as far as career goals go is the King of Cups, or career reading. This is someone who is a poor leader. Someone with selfish intentions as well. So like, almost on the vein of the Five of Swords, as I was saying. Someone who could be very much manipulative too. Again, I'm not hell-bent on saying it, but I think that if you can be honest with yourself and say, this honestly isn't me, right? This energy, this negative hatred energy isn't me. It might be the people around you. Now, just to reiterate, if you don't relate to any of this at all, it's not for you. All right, don't force it to be. Trust me. Especially this heavy energy right here, don't force it to be. But as far as what's going on here, it could be you, again, needing to change, needing to have courage in yourself. Nonetheless, in both scenarios, you need to have courage in yourself to say, despite things not going the way that I would want them to go, I'm not going to be a hating ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's for both male and females. When I say bitch, you a bitch. I don't care what's in between your legs, all right? Anyways. And that's not for everybody. That doesn't apply for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's a bitch, but I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I'm sorry for all the cursing. But for real though, like, it's like, if you're not that, then I think this is energy around you that you need to get away from. Or at least I said I was going to stop telling people what they need to do. What I would suggest you get away from if you want things to change. Now, if you don't want things, and how bad do you want things to change? Because we can all want things to change. We can all want all we want, but if we don't do anything, those wants are just going to stay in our mind and nothing is ever going to come out. You know what I'm saying? We can want, all right? But nothing's ever going to come if you don't, again, have the courage for yourself to say, I want certain changes and I'm going to make them changes. So, that is the tarot as far as the career goes. Let's see what oracle message or messages we're going to get those two. I'm going to shuffle. Ooh, a bunch just fell out. All right. Whatever. Got my old ashes. I'm gonna be old, y'all. Okay, this is way too much. I'm keeping it real. So what we gonna do is shuffle among these ones. And we're gonna choose at least, it almost fell again. I ain't so old, my reflexes is done. And that's the card that we're going to rely on, this card to say this is the message for the career read. And the card that we got is Important Parts. Love the design of the card. Embrace each element, weaving them into your story with openness and understanding. Yeah, again, with the strength, having compassion for yourself. And even with the Queen's cards, especially that Queen of Wands, when it's upright, this is someone who is definitely compassionate with themselves, with other people as well. There's a determination here too when the Queen of Wands is in this position. A determination to make things happen. If there's change that needs to be brought out, there's a determination here. But there's also a compassion, again, for themselves and for others as well. So, yeah, that's what we have as far as the career goes. Last but not least, any general message. Let's see what general message or messages does God have for us. If you're still around, I appreciate you for sticking around. If you haven't hit that like already, please hit that like. All right. So we'll try to get us 6 cards. We got 3 so far. What general message do you have for us, good Lord? All right. We got 7. Oh, we got 8. Okay. So, as far as the general, overall, any other general message or messages we have? We start off with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. This is someone who's superficial. So I do see a general message of, and this could be a financial one too, could serve as one. I think that's what I meant. I forgot to mention I was gonna do, or I planned on doing this, was a financial read, but might serve as both. Who knows? But I do see a balancing we need of just getting money and probably just trusting the universe. A lot of things, really. A balancing act of getting money, so because we all love money, but also, again, trusting the universe and trusting that, trusting God and trusting things will work out the way that we want them to for our highest good, essentially. The reason why I say that is because, again, you had that 9 of Pentacles, but right next to it, you have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is someone who can be very greedy, very possessive, very impulsive with spending as well. I think it's more so the greed aspect. Again, you have that superficiality. You could think of that as greed as well, or just a greedy sense of, I think that someone in a collective, as a collective, or just someone in a collective in general, we're about to get some money, which is, great. You know what I'm saying? We're coming into some money. But, again, there's going to be a situation to where we come into the money and we, get too greedy. We get to a point where we are too much in grind mode, I guess, to get more money. Instead of, again, savoring, taking the time to just savor the security, honestly, that money is bringing. Savor things, savor life in general, outside of you getting money. So there's a balancing act that is needed, and I mention that because we have the temperance here. Just having things in moderation. Don't give up your I guess your lust, your race for either financial freedom to live whatever luxurious life, because that Nine of Pentacles, when upright, is a life of luxury and stuff, right? So don't give up on that if that's what you desire. That security, again, with that Four of Pentacles being here and upright, that is more so like being financially sound and stuff. So don't give up on those dreams and aspects of having finances, so you can potentially get that life of luxury, potentially be financially sound. Don't give up on it. But also, again, just savoring life outside of just getting money. You know, we'll continue because we got more cards, but I think that's the message here. We got the King of Swords. This is someone who is disciplined. So again, there is that energy of being disciplined with not just our finances, but just in life in general. Being able to be someone of integrity. Now, I am seeing another card here that goes against this. But that's, that's duality. That's the energy. That is definitely retrograde energy too, where it's like it can go this way or it could go totally horribly. You know what I'm saying? Things could go really well. And things could go really bad, Your next card is, or our next card is, the Two of Cups in reverse. This is power imbalance. This is, rejection as well. But also just a card of just being withdrawn, meaning that mentally, physically, even, you're just withdrawn from something. Like you're just not as into it, especially when it comes to it could be a situation within your personal relationships. Again, that's why I was saying, like, cherish things outside of getting your money. Because when where you have a connection with somebody, right? And when I mean a connection, like, this is an actual, like, love connection that is forming, right? But it does seem as though the dangers of focusing too much on getting this money is you are withdrawn from your partner. You're withdrawn from the relationship. And again, that temperance here is here to remind us that, yeah, get your money, but cherish the personal relationships you have. Cherish the things outside of getting this money before you lose it. And then you upset. All right? Next, we have the Eight of Wands here. This is sudden change, swift action as well. Honestly, I kind of want some clarification on why this is here. This card is like kind of throwing me off. Let's just see. Let me see. Spirit, why is the Eight of Wands here? Okay, you got another Wands card. This ain't the only Wands card, by the way, that you have. Well, these ain't the only two. The Four of Wands clarified the Eight of Wands. The Four of Wands is marriage. For anyone that's scared out there. But it's unionship. So, I mean, it is good to see. I'm going to put that right on top of the Eight of Wands, right? It is good to see that, and I do think this is very much this right here, not the first love reading, but this one is about a partnership, in a romantic sense, not the partnerships in a sense of coming together with, people. They're both cool, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying here, like, it does seem like maybe this want for money, this desire of money is coming because somebody got plans to get married. Somebody got some plans. Now, I ain't gonna front. This Seven of Swords here is a card of betrayal. This is like, if you're married and this shows up, this is someone cheating or someone betraying their partner. So that is kind of worrisome here. But maybe it's, if you're not very much mindful, once again, of you being in too much grind mode, you can lose. It's like you're betraying your relationship. It could be you're betraying your vows. It could be that you're already married, but you want to create a life of luxury for your partner. So that's why you're on go mode right now. That could be it, you know? But I don't think this is a situation that, you going on go mode. You might have good intentions. What's that saying? The road to evil is paved by good intentions? Is that the saying? I think I may have mixed two proverbs together or whatever. But you may have great intentions, is what I'm saying. And why you're on go mode right now with let's get this money. Your intention could be because I want to create a life for my wife or my husband, a life of luxury that they deserve. And that could be it. But it doesn't seem as though you have the type of partner that's going to value the financial aspect more. Not to say they don't value it at all. I'm saying that I don't think, based off of this energy here, it doesn't seem that you have the type of partner that's going to value the finances more than they value just spending time with you, being able to be with you. And you are, as I said, with that Seven of Swords here, there's this energy of betraying pretty much that promise that you made to your partner, whether you're married or not, that you all were going to spend time together. You all were going to cherish one another. And it seems as though this is the card of, again, this is here because it's like you run that risk of breaking said promise. Whether, again, it was said with a ring, said with, on a document or whatever, verbally said it, or just when you all agreed to get together, that was a promise you made that we're going to be together. And when we're together, we are going to do what we do when we're together. But again, with that Two of Cups in reverse, and then that Seven of Swords present, it just seems as though, like, again, you have good intentions as to why you're on let's get this money mode. And again, it's great. I'm not telling you not to do that. Again, even the Temperance is not telling you not to focus on the money. It's just, focus on the money, but when you have time, and there will be times for you to just calm down, reflect, spend time with your loved one, take that time out. Showed y'all the Seven of Swords, but the very last card is, like I said, another Wands card, the Two of Wands. Now, this is someone who, yes, is a risk taker, but someone who has faith in themselves and that, again, life or whatever they want the world to be. They have the world in their hands, as you can see. That's supposed to be the world. Like, that ball is the world. They have the world in their hands, and they're confident enough to look out into the horizon and say, I don't see anything happening yet, but I have the power to create the life that I want. Especially, again, if this is relative to you creating a life for your loved one, your wife, your husband, whatever title they have. You have that power. But just remember, as the Temperance is here to remind you again, remember that you've got a life outside of making money. You've got people in your life to worry about, that you should. I won't say have to, but you should. Even though I said I was going to stop telling people what they should do too. But it would be wise for you to care for. And I know you, again, getting this money is you caring for them. But as I stated, I don't think you have a partner. Not to say that they don't cherish the finances, that they want you all to just be broke and living in squalor, if that's not something that you will to desire. But they want you. They want you. They want to spend time with you. They want to see you. They want to be with you. They don't want to be with you because of the money. They don't want to be with the money, so with that comes with being with you. They want you. So just take that into consideration when, again, you are on go mode with your finances. So that is the tarot as far as like just a general sense. That served somewhat as a love reading as well. Let's get our and we got 2 cards that fall out. Boom. All right. So the first card we got is Divine Timing. Be patient for things to take time to manifest fully in your life. Pretty self-explanatory. The next card we have is Open Doors. You have many options, so take your time to choose what's right. Again, taking your time. Balancing going to work or getting this money and just life outside of making money. All right. But that's what I have today for our general read. All right. If you got anything of value from this video, please hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe for more vids like this one here. Again, if you would like a personal read, shoot me an email. It's free for everybody, whether you are, a Leo or not, whatever the case is, it's free. But again, be very much mindful. I am going on vacation. No, I am still, I've been still considering vacation, but I am going on vacation. And with that being said, things are going to take time until I return back to home, even if I won't even mention that now. Until I return back to, Massachusetts, let me just say that. Until I return back to Mass, you're going to have to be patient with me if you want a personal read. All right? But, that's what I have for us today. Timestamps will be in the pinned comment for the time of which read starts. And till next time, until next video, you see me when you see me. Y'all take care.